Yes, you read the title right. I always tell my family, you should just give up. Yes, give up as in abandoning oneself to a particular feeling, influence, or activity. Yes, just give up and stop. Please stop. Stop trying and give up. Stop trying and give up on impressing people. In the words of the amazing Will Smith, too many people spend money they haven't earned to buy things they don't want to impress people they don't like. I know you're like, what? Who does that? Well, the sad fact is that we all have done it at some point in our life, whether we want to admit it or not. Humans are natural social beings, and more times than not, we try too hard to impress people around us that we forget who we are and our own happiness. Remember that even if we wanted to try to satisfy and impress everyone, there is no way we could, because people are people and they are evolving every day. And with that comes change. So one day, someone may be impressed with your new fancy car, but then the next week or even the next day, their mind has went on to another car or another liking altogether. Instead of trying to impress people, discover who you are. Many of us follow our parents' advice on what they think is good for us. Then we listen to our teachers tell us what high schools or colleges are academically competitive and where we should go. Now, don't get me wrong, that is all good information, and we should listen to their advice because most likely they're speaking from experience. However, we are ultimately responsible for our own choices and decisions. Many times we have no clue what to do or what we may enjoy doing. Do you know the trick to solving that is? Try new things and rediscover old hobbies. Remember, there is no one as important as yourself. Always be yourself and love yourself first.
Yes, just give up and stop. Please stop. Stop trying and give up on doubting yourself. One of the biggest mistakes we make is wanting to succeed immediately. See, what actually happens is we know that it's not impossible, but very unlikely to achieve our goals or success overnight. This in turn fills us with self-doubt. Instead of doubting ourselves, we should give each task 100%, never give up, continue to practice, and learn from the many mistakes we make along the way. Also, stop focusing on the end goal. What is the only way to achieve the end goal? Right. You must complete the goals or steps in between. So focus instead on each individual or next step. Also, you have to make sure that you celebrate your wins along the way. Set long and short-term goals. For instance, if you meet a deadline or complete something early, reward yourself. Take yourself out to that new restaurant or splurge and buy yourself something. Lastly, embrace failure and the uncertain. Remember that failure and mistakes are the only thing that are certain in any journey. Many times there are multiple fail attempts, but the key is to learn why you failed and drumroll please. No, okay, no drumroll. It's alright. And after you learn from what caused you to fail, try again. To quote from the great Confucius, the man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones.
Yes, just give up and stop. Please stop. Give up and stop that negative self-talk. Do you know that you actually listen to yourself more than any other person? But what happens is that inner bully will put those negative thoughts in your head, and if there is an outsider that happens to agree with him that you are listening to, then that's 2 against 1, and that silences any positive thoughts. Yeah, that inner bully who judges you every time you put on that new pair of jeans, doubts you every time you say you're going to the gym 3 times a week, belittles you every time you search for classes to take, and constantly tells you that you just aren't good enough. Yes, that inner bully needs to be silenced. So, here are a few steps to help you silence that inner bully. 1. As with anything else, You have to acknowledge that, hey, there is this inner voice bully that doubts almost anything I even think about. 2. Next, it may sound silly, but give that inner voice a name. I name my inner bully Mark. The reason we want to give it a name is because we want to separate it from ourselves, because this is something that was created, not an actual part of our true identity. Third, we have to realize that this inner bully was developed by a lot of outside influences such as criticism, expectations, and standards. Meet Mary. Well, you can't really see her, but this is my inner helper. She helped me silence Mark, that inner bully that I told you about a few moments ago. When I put on those new pair of jeans, Mary told me how good I looked. When I made a muscle and noticed I could work on myself, Mary told me to keep your promise of going to the gym and things will change. You have to notice that, of course, there are going to be things that need improvement. However, putting yourself down is certainly not going to help you achieve your goals. Instead of criticizing yourself, give yourself constructive feedback that will help you improve. Write daily positive affirmations and repeat them to yourself every day or multiple times a day if needed, and especially right before you plan to tackle your goal for the day.
Yes, just give up and stop. Please stop. Give up and stop being jealous of others' success. This is something that we are all guilty of. Yes, everyone. At some point, we may have looked at another person and have been envious of their looks. Notice our neighbor got a new car, or logged onto Facebook or Instagram and noticed that a family member just posted their family vacation pictures. I mean, jealousy is actually pretty normal. But what we don't want is for the jealousy to turn to resentment, because this could lead to our own destruction. Just know that no matter how much you flourish, there's always going to be someone doing better than you. It's just life. But if you can take a moment and recognize just what are you doing, then this is the first step to tackling jealousy. What all of us are doing or have done is comparing ourselves to other people. This is silly. Why, you ask? Well, because each person has their unique journey. Your journey is not theirs and vice versa. So stop comparing yourself to others. And what does a person's looks, or your neighbors getting a new car, or your family members taking a vacation take away from you? Get rid of that from your mind frame. That others are digging in your pot when they really aren't. Are you still able to transform your body? Are you almost finished paying off your 3-year-old car? Are you saving up for that Hawaiian vacation? These are not once in a lifetime opportunities, and much of what we are envious of aren't once in a lifetime opportunities. So stop. Stop giving something that's irrelevant to your success something that is limited, which is time.
Yes, just give up and stop. Please stop. Stop and give up. Your fear of judgment. Have you recently started something new, like a YouTube channel or writing, and then talked to a family member or an associate, and they ask, "Are you still making YouTube videos?" Or, "Are you still vlogging?" Well, let's think for a moment. Do you think anyone asked Viola Davis, Steven Spielberg, Al Pacino, Denzel Washington, "Are you still making movies or acting?" Or Beyonce, Madonna, Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley, "Are you still dancing and making music?" Well, of course plenty of people did, thinking that they weren't going to be who they were. But they realized that what they are doing was meaningful to them, and they didn't need validation from anyone else. No one can see your vision like you see it. Sadly, only a few people are going to understand or support your dream in the beginning. And it's not your job to convince people that your dreams are important, meaningful, or valuable. Give up that fear of others judging you or what you are doing, and go for what you know.
Thank Thanks for watching our video. We really hope you enjoyed it. And one last time, yes, just give up and stop. See you in the next video.